Good that you're watching to the video on demand of the weekly stream that I do here every Monday, where I discuss the biggest gaming news with you. Of course, every Sunday we post the Sunday gaming news roundup video on the main channel, and you can leave comments. I look at the comments, of course, I try to reply to as many as possible. Sometimes I copy and paste the comments then in this stream, because during this stream I want to go in depth on some of the bigger topics during that Sunday video, but also brand new news, other sort of things that we can then discuss together. So let's wait for the chat to come in. I think I got the right things going. So yeah, hello, good to see you. It's the final stream of the year, the final time that I'll be talking with you in 2024 directly like this. But there will be many times like this in 2025. Hey, Wesley, good to see you. Brock, Doven Smits, good to see you as always. Hola, amigo. Hey. Red Hood Phantom, good to see you as well. And we got Mizo. I hope I pronounced that right. Appreciate you as well. And of course, everyone else joining in. How has everyone been doing? How has your Christmas or holiday been? Of course, depending on where you live, if you celebrate it. I personally had nothing to do on the first day of Christmas, nothing on Christmas Eve, which was actually kind of relaxing. I did enjoy that. And on the second day, I moved around quite a lot here in the Netherlands to be with my my parents and my brother who lives in London. He came over with his girlfriend, so we had some presents, and then after that I went to my grandpa. We did a quiz that I with a niece prepared about my grandpa, kind of getting to know a bit more about his life, and that was pretty fun. After that we went out to eat with the whole family, like 30 people, lots of nephews and nieces, and of course uncles, aunts on the separate table. And then we had a great time. And wow, after that during the weekend I just didn't leave the house. It was kind of weird. It was today, it's Monday, of course. I opened the door, I was like, whoa, I actually did not leave the house, and that was actually kind of good. This is like that weird time between Christmas and New Year's Eve where the time is it's standing still. There's nothing really going on. Everyone is just kind of peacing out already, ready for the new year, or resting up. And let's go. I made it. Hey, the hit and greet. Good to see you as always. How about one wild last GTA prediction? Well, we do actually have a GTA sort of topic lined up. What we're gonna do, and I can quickly tease it here, is there has been a new trailer. It's the same trailer. It's not a new trailer, but it is the same trailer but with way better quality. So we're gonna play them both side to side, and then you can see that it actually looks way better. So that should be a lot of fun. Good to see you as well, Assassin Separus. Oh man, O'Neil. I'm just gonna say O'Neil if that makes sense. First time commenting, love the channel, appreciate you. Thanks for coming over to the React channel here. So yeah, we do have kind of a tight show today. I went to the barber, and it took a bit longer than expected. So I wanted to prepare these topics too, so we have like a solid stream, which means that it will be a bit shorter than normal, but that should not matter because we got 3 very nice topics lined up. We also want to discuss the Sony wanting to bring back older IPs, which is going to be a lot of fun, because everyone has their favorite PlayStation IP that they want to see return, but I want to dig a little bit deeper, like how realistic is it for those games to come back, and also just overall what's going on with Uncharted. I want to kind of move it in that direction, and then also, which I'm pretty excited about, I want to look at the flops of 2024 and what can we learn from that? Because if we go over all of them, and then I want to end with like the best-selling games of the year. You see kind of why you see kind of a trend in the flops. So that's gonna be very exciting, I think. Liliac Fist, good to see you. Hello. Concerned Citizen says SOCOM. Yeah, you're not the only one. You're not. I still think SOCOM could be pretty cool. Curious if Bloodborne does count as an older IP. I mean, it's like 10 years old right now, right? It came out in 2014 or 2015, something like that. But I do think it counts as an older IP, which is kind of crazy. It makes me feel old as well. So let's get the show on the road, shall we? I want to start with this, and then we can kind of move from there. Okay. Of course, I will be mostly like talking, like presenting the sort of topics. Input more than welcome. Drop it in the chat right here, and yeah, we can have a fun conversation. Usually after I kind of go over everything, but yeah, don't hold yourself back, I would say. And we got a very generous donation here from Concerned Citizen in the YouTube chat. Bring back Conflict Desert Storm. And I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what that is. Conflict Desert Storm. I usually am pretty good with game knowledge. But yeah, we're gonna look real quick at this is from 11 years ago. It probably came out way before that. Conflict Desert Storm. Look at this. It came out in 2002. Okay, that's why I probably have never heard about it. I've never heard of it. I was 9 years old when this. Yeah, that looks like an old game. What made this so exciting? Hey, 53 Nights, good to see you. Okay, 2015 says Wesley for Brock for Bloodborne. Okay, third person. Oh my god, this is crazy. Oh no! What is this person doing? I'm kind of getting Battlefront vibes, like old school Battlefront. What are we even doing? Is she gonna shoot? Oh, there we go. What? I mean, to be fair, and again, I'm seeing this for the first time. But what made this special? This looks like every other military shooter. 53 Nights, like I'm saying, I've never heard of this game before. Assassin Cypher says, will Ace of Shadows have a New Game Plus mode on day one? Probably not. I asked about it already and they were like, New Game Plus? What is that? AKADN, thanks for your very long post there on Twitch. In short, what you're saying is basically that there's a lot behind X-Deviant. I actually wanted to do an X-Deviant video on this channel because on the JorRaptor React channel because like I think it's fascinating what they did with that final update. So I want to go over that and then maybe we can look at that video as well. But yeah, you make a very... He has a video where he covered evidence that X-Deviant's player count was higher than Rainbow Six Siege when it first launched. And that the player count did not change really much. I don't believe that one bit. Look, if the player count for X-Deviant was good, they would not cancel it. I mean, Skull and Bones is getting a year too. So, they were not making money on X-Deviant. Otherwise, sure, like Ubisoft needs a win. Of course they were going to... Okay, we're getting a lot of we're getting a lot of like input on Desert Storm. Streaming on this channel. I just subbed to this channel as I was recommended. Nice. Facey? Hope I pronounced that right, but appreciate you coming over. Yeah, every Monday I try to stream here. On the main channel, I want to do more the, a new game is out, we can play it one day early or some streams like that. This is more chill. And on this new channel, I can just breathe. Now, I can also breathe on the main channel, but it's nicer. It's kind of nice to have a more dedicated audience who kind of wants to see my face. And it's not like, oh, I didn't know you look like that. And I'm like, where have you been all these years? It's not the first time I'm doing a webcam video. Either way, it's time. Thanks for the lecture on Conflict Desert Storm. There was basically another Desert Storm. Prison Escape. Well, I don't know if there's an audience for this. But I'm happy that people want it back. I just don't know if it ever will come back. But yeah, you learn something new every day. Conflict Desert Storm. Third person military shooter. Okay. What is up, everyone? Let's get the show on the road. There's not a new trailer for GTA 6 this year. Sadly. But there is a new version of the GTA 6 trailer, kind of. We go to Paul Tassi from Forbes. Basically, what happened is that a higher quality version of the original GTA 6 trailer has been found on the Chinese Bilibili social media site. The best way to watch it is to download an MP4 of it from Google Drive. Well, we are in luck. Because who got it? I do. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to watch both trailers side to side, and what we will see is that it actually looks way better. Like, you can see way more details, things in the background suddenly make sense, and the character models are way better. So I'm very excited for this. I have not watched this yet. I'm going to move my camera a bit, so I'm like over here. And of course we're going to... I have to like press them at the same time. Let's get this show on the road. Let's do it. Okay, wanna. And you already kind of see it. But especially here. Wait. So this is the new trailer here. And this is the old one. You see way more detail. The lighting is way better. And you actually see... Here it's kind of blurry. The sort of pictures there. The picture in the prison. But here we can actually see those people. Which is super interesting. Let's do this. PS5 Pro footage? No, this is just like YouTube, of course, compresses the heck out of things. So yeah, we can kind of see what's going on here. Way more than before. But it's especially if you like look at it here. Kind of hard. Okay, let's see what else. I want to get them right, which is kind of hard. I mean, that's kind of the thing, of course, with GTA 6 right now. all the news is news. And I feel like a madman, like with a telescope, like looking for the differences, but there are quite some. It's especially this scene on the beach. If you like look at it here, still looks great. But if we then go here, way more detail. People have been pointing out like the tattoos. So this is what everyone was looking at all the time. And this is what it can also look like. Maybe it is this PS5, this PS5 Pro. Probably not. I think PS5 will look like this too. Still, the amount of people on this beach is insane. It's crazy. Some people over there. So some people make comparisons to this guy too, yeah. Look at this. We see his kind of acne. We're not gonna be ready for this game. I really hope we can enter more buildings as well. That has been kind of the thing, of course, in GTA, where it's a lot of like set dressing and not actual things we can explore. But it's tiny. It is totally tiny. But I'm like looking at it at a 4K monitor. Face looks softer. It looks way better, says Yanni. Yeah. Damn. Damn. Especially the people there. Oh, I now see like a helicopter here, I think. This looked like... I mean, now I can't unsee the helicopter, but now it's like clearly one. I want to see those vegetations. And that's why it's like a YouTube trailer never does it justice. Oh damn! I wanted to. Damn. This is insane. The mud, the guy in the back there. Feels like you're watching a GTA 6 PS4 versus PS5 version or something. Let's see how much she's improved. I see just way more details on her face here. Pickles that you just could not see on this shot. That's crazy. Let's see how the Joker looks. Kind of the same. It's like super flat in the regular like trailer, and here you see way more details. Let the raptor feed, thanks Chef Joseph. And AKADN20, appreciate you. But yeah, I will check the X Divine stuff out. That is certainly very interesting. So thanks for sharing. Damn. His name is Jason, right? Damn, look at this. The details, man. I mean, the Xbox Series S is gonna make some noise. You're gonna be scared by what that console will sound like trying to run this game. Oh, wow. So this is what it looked like on YouTube. This is the better version. And the logo looks way better now. So yeah, that is pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. I thought it was pretty interesting to kind of look at that and see what's up. There were people on Reddit, of course, going crazy as well. She even has the acne scars. Like, the amount of details or amount of detail is insane. And someone else is also saying, like, there's people thinking this won't be in-game graphics. Did they not play video games in the last 6 years? And kind of like comparing it to other games. To be fair, though, I think this is probably like all PC. Oh, this is probably PS5. But yeah, Horizon. I mean, that's the best looking game out there. So obviously. But yeah, obviously GTA 6 is going to look insane. I think that shot of Jason is like the most crazy. Like, that was insane. I'm going to move myself back here. Concert Citizen, thanks again with your generous support. Grand Purchase Auto, only one liquor store to rob, can't steal anything. Mafia 2 lets you rob the gun store for weapons. I mean, I totally think there will be way more things to rob in GTA 6. Like, obviously. I think that's going to be kind of the point of the game. And we also saw it in, of course, the online when that came out. I only like really played GTA Online when it came out, and then afterwards I like dabbled in it, but nothing too crazy. But yeah, I totally think they will have more stores to rob. And yeah, it would be cool if you could rob a gun store and then all those guns were yours. But that, of course, does kind of ruin the overall progression if guns are part of the progression. Although they could, of course, like give you crappy guns in gun stores and not the actual supply that they have. No way that Horizon picture is PS5. I mean, this 2022. This is PS5. I don't think this, but it's with perfect lighting, and This seems like a concept, like sort of a model in without like having to render the world. So maybe that's why. But this is something I think they put on their art station. So not sure if it actually looks like this in game, but this I think is the model that they used. If that makes sense. Hey, NTSMT, appreciate you. AK A&D, you're most welcome. At least you got more to cover X Deviant than just the articles. Thanks, man. I mean, I wanted to jump into the game as well. I've been playing actually this final season. Not a lot, but there's like a lot of Assassin's Creed content in X Deviant, which is kind of interesting. So I wanted to check that out before the game is over. But yeah. Let's move on because we got another fun topic. What has been your personal and at NTSMT is asking what's your personal game of the year? If you have been like listening to the Free Roam podcast that I of course do with Luke Stevens, I've already said it there as well. And yeah, I don't think... I still need to play some games that came out in 2024, but I don't think anything can beat Black Myth Wukong for me. That was really... I think it's wild that game had this sort of like perfect pre-launch like moment where they dropped the first trailer. Everyone's like, whoa, this looks amazing. And then every year they kind of drip feed us with new gameplay. And then to have the game come out and actually be what they advertised, and I would argue better in terms of the amount of depth that they had in that game. For me, I just love the sort of setting they have. I am not a huge fan of the From Software games in that your character is just not very capable and you're fighting these like way more challenging bosses. I know that's part of that game, but I like to play a character that is also OP, has a lot of like cool spells. So you're kind of like leveling the playing field, and that means that you have way more things to use during an encounter to kind of tweak and toy around with. And I think that's a lot of fun. So I really liked getting the new transformations, the new gear, and there were way more secrets in the game, and it was way more open than I anticipated. And of course the Chinese mythology, learning more about that, seeing that at the scale and with the beauty that Black Myth Wukong was able to deliver was just amazing. So it is my game of the year for sure. I love Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as well. Really enjoyed that too. But there were some parts like the main story was amazing, but I was kind of like, I want to do everything in that game. And then you're kind of forced to do these open world zones that work straight out of like a PS3 game. Like there was not a lot of like thought and interesting mechanics, and it was just very boring in a way. And while I loved the combat and stuff, I thought that they could have like made that way shorter and way more interesting. And yeah, sure, then the game would not be 100 hours, but 60, or maybe like 70. But that would mean that everything you do in that game is actually fun. And now it felt more like a chore, while I think going through the main story, constantly being surprised with what kind of story moment and what boss they throw at you, it's like an adventure, and it's amazing for that. But with Black Myth, I was constantly, oh my god, this is amazing. And then seeing the huge giant in chapter 3 for the first time, you're like, whoa, how am I gonna beat that? And then you do, and that's cool. So yeah, for me, Black Myth Wukong, for sure. 53 Knight says, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I don't believe it. Get out. No. Ronald, thanks for coming over here. Appreciate you a lot. And thanks for your donation. See Cowboy Coyote. But of course, Ronald. Heyo, let's talk about the fact that Capcom surprised everyone at the Game Awards with the official announcement of an official Okami sequel. Would be fun if they were like an unofficial Okami sequel, not made by Capcom. Yeah. It's still far away. It's still very far away. So don't hold your breath for that. But it is a lot of fun for sure that they have announced that. And yeah, Capcom has been doing very well. And that's a nice segue to the topic I want to discuss here. Because they look at their, like, they kind of look at, okay, the biggest franchise they have, and they will continue to make games for those. But they're also looking at, okay, what else do we have that might be worth it to invest in and release as a new game? And Okami makes sense if they get the budget under control and maybe make something special again. Of course, they also had Onimusha, right? They brought that back too. And that makes a lot of sense. Like, you can easily make a sort of Souls-like, action-focused game based on that. There are a lot of games like it that are successful. So, The King's Hand says, Wukong was my 2024 game of the year, and it went straight to one of my top 5 games of all time. That's insane. And I wouldn't go that far, like top 5 games of all time. But yeah, it totally was my game of the year. And going back to that game, like, the amount of bosses in that game is actually staggering. If you like do the that you can replay all the bosses and stuff, it's like, wow, that's crazy. So then you are kind of reminded by the wealth of content. And then I was like, huh, I didn't even beat every boss, and there are some like very well hidden, which is kind of cool. My only problem was that it got repetitive in the final chapters, and NTCMT is saying, I think they changed it up quite a lot. Maybe they could have done a better job, but because I was like constantly changing my playstyle as well by crafting the new armors, trying the new transformations, I was like making it different for myself, like kind of coming up with new playstyles, and that made it, that's why it didn't really feel repetitive for me. And I think they introduced some cool bosses near the end, like with the 2 bosses that you have to fight at the same time, where you're like, okay, who am I gonna kill first? Of course, in chapter 5, they had, of course, these sort of siege weapons or whatever they were called. I think they did a pretty great job, and the final chapters were shorter as well. And of course, the final chapter was quite different. Maybe they could have done way more with that open level, but hey, it was like something different, and I did enjoy that for sure. I mean, for a first game, and it seems like they're not doing like another Wukong game, but they are going to do another like Chinese mythology type game with a new character. They've learned so much. Like, Wukong now has a map, for example. They are going to launch their next game with a new map. So, and probably less invisible walls. So, it's only getting better, I think, from here. So I'm excited to see what they do next. Rimo To Nolo says, and thanks for returning here. Did you see Where Winds Meet released in China? There's tons of gameplay on YouTube. Damn, I should check that out. We should totally check that out. Maybe do a stream on that too. That's actually a good one. It launched like this weekend or something. Last Friday. I should check that out. I played actually a beta earlier. And I'm kind of curious. It is kind of like Genshin style. It is like Ghost of Tsushima Genshin. As in, it's free to play, open world. So I am kind of worried that they might gatekeep a lot of content and stuff. But it does look like very cool. I think you can probably play a lot for free. It's coming to PS5 in 2025. So yeah, I'm curious. That's a good tip. I will check that out. As a GC saying, does Age of Shadows have technological advancements or not? Of course, like that's what they've been promoting a lot. They are like ditching PS4 and Xbox One. So yeah, there are gonna be a lot of improvements, and hopefully we will see that in the new year in action in January already. I would love Black Myth on Xbox, but here we still have nothing on Xbox. If it is or isn't coming, it's probably coming on to Xbox, I would argue. No English option at the moment for Where Winds Meet. Yeah, that does kind of suck. I did play an English version. But yeah, I do think it's going to be interesting that they launch it already in China. Maybe put in a lot of feedback from those players. And then hopefully we get a better version in 2025. Black Myth Wukong on PS5, they actually improved it with the most recent update, so it's way better now. So yeah, I would say don't like PS5 is perfect for that game. They did have some issues at launch. There were some chapters that were kind of hard on the PS5, so you got some stuttering, some frame drops. But yeah, totally, it's worth getting on PS5. I only played on PS5. Okay, let's move on to another topic. Let's see, I need to do this too. Hoppa. Do 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 do. Yes, PlayStation boss says it's open to reviving classic franchises. Yes, let that mind go crazy. What do you want to see? Of course, we have Ape Escape image here. But basically, co-CEO Herman Hull said Sony is open to reviving back its back catalog of classic games. And I asked many people about this in the Sunday video, of course, the Gaming News Roundup I post on the main channel every Sunday, and many people went crazy, obviously. They want to see Jak and Daxter. Bring back Jak and Daxter. Of course, if you're watching this, let me know in the comments what you want to see, but I want to look at this a bit more as well. And is it realistic? And what about Days Gone 2 and Uncharted? Because there's some interesting history going on there with Sony Band and Uncharted. But yeah, here we, of course, let's see what else people want. SOCOM back, bring back SOCOM. I think it's like kind of crazy that Sony has been doing a lot of live service games and they're not going back to SOCOM. Maybe they can't find the right partner for it. But I do think that game was pretty ahead of its time with the tactical gameplay and Rainbow Six, of course, Counter-Strike. They're super successful. So I think it's kind of crazy that Sony has not been looking at SOCOM for as far as we know. That would, of course, totally turn some heads. And that's what they kind of need with their live service initiative, not these new IPs that nobody really cares about. Now, they did, like, try a Twisted Metal. We have Nighthawk saying Twisted Metal and Jet Moto would be great to bring back. Sure. And they were going to do a new Twisted Metal, but yeah, as you can read, new Twisted Metal game reportedly cancelled. So, it was the All-Stars. What was that? What was the name of that game again? PS5 launch game. All-Stars. Destruction. Yeah, so this was going to be the Destruction All-Star team that was first making it. Then they moved it over to Firesprite. And yeah, it just got cancelled. They could not find the fun in the game. And that has been kind of going on with Sony. They have been trying. We learned in 2021 about a Wipeout potential game as well. But yeah, we haven't heard anything since. And I think there are some interesting comments right here as well, if we look at what I find ridiculous is this companies made their names with these classics, and now that the industry technology has evolved to make these games even better and bring to a new generation, they refuse to go back to these classic titles that made them who they are. yes, you can put it that way, but I, of course, want to know why. Like, why do you think these companies are not going back to these games? Well, it's all in the numbers, obviously. So we got a look at all the sales for all the PlayStation games. And this is the week ending June 11th, 2023. And it's very interesting to look at these games. Let's see how we can zoom in. Okay, look at that. Okay, for some reason there. Okay. Oh my god, it goes to 500. That's crazy. But basically, what we're seeing here, we got Spider-Man number 1, God of War Ragnarok, Last of Us 2, Miles Morales, God of War, Ghost, Horizon. Basically, the PS4 games are doing insanely well. Days Gone, here at number 14, it sold, let's see. Oh, that's the download. So this on the PSN store. Okay. Basically, my point is that a lot of these older games are very low on the list. Now, obviously, downloadable games were not a big deal back in the day. But having the Jack and Dexter collection sell 500,000 copies, it's not a lot. Wipeout HD, also 540. So basically what Sony is looking at is, we can have these big studios like a Naughty Dog work on a new Jack and Dexter, but we can also have them make Last of Us 3 or now Intergalactic that has way more potential to become something way bigger. And what we're also kind of seeing is that just these studios that started with, Jack and Dexter, Sly Cooper, Sucker Punch has also said, yo, we're just not gonna do Infamous or Sly Cooper anymore. They are now focused on Ghost, and that makes way more sense. They got the Ghost movie coming. Ghost of Yotei, of course, is coming very, very soon. So, yeah, I also, as much as I love Infamous and like Sly Cooper, I would much rather have them just focus on Ghost, because that's, for me, way more appealing, and that for Sony makes way more financial sense. But I do think it would be cool if other studios can then, I still think Infamous has don't, because you have Marvel with Spider-Man and of course Wolverine is coming, don't it's nice to have your own superhero game as well. And open world games have been doing super well. I think a new Infamous could be amazing, and give it to a different studio that has a fun idea for it. So I really hope they go around and ask studios, we got this catalog of games. What type of pitch do you have? What do you think? I still think, and I've said it before, I think a Remedy Infamous game, they are trying the Control Alan Wake universe. As much as I dig their quality, I don't think that has a lot of potential, sadly, for them. And yeah, I think at one point they will probably realize maybe we should use our our skills for franchises that people actually want to play, or I should not say that. Obviously, a lot of people want to play Alan Wake and Control, but the ceiling has been hit seemingly for those games, and Alan Wake 2 has not made a profit yet, which is crazy. And I'm not sure how a Control 2 would do, because it feels like Control came out in 2019, the perfect time when everyone was kind of looking for a new game to play, and then it happened. So I'm not sure how, in this day and age, a new Control will fare. Either way, of course, there's one crown jewel that Sony has in their portfolio, and they're not doing anything with it, at least for as far as we know. We know Naughty Dog is done with Uncharted. They don't want to do it anymore. Don't expect a new Uncharted from Naughty Dog anytime soon, as Neil Druckmann has confirmed that the studio has moved on from the series. So I think Naughty Dog, for the foreseeable future, they will of course do Intergalactic. I think that will launch 2026 if we're lucky, probably 2027. Then they will do The Last of Us Part 3. Let's hope that's 2030, probably later. And then they, like, depends on if Intergalactic is a success. Then they will probably do the sequel for that. Naughty Dog, they got their hands tied. They got their work cut out for them. But we, of course, know this. And maybe you remember this. It was at the start of 2023. They had this Sony ad where they were like, okay, wow, look at all the properties we have. Spider-Man in the real world. Horizon. Oh, who is this red-haired girl? Oh, wow, looking over San Francisco. Looks amazing. Basically, all these things, like we got God of War, Final Fantasy 16, all these things were based on games. Like Ratchet and Clank. But then, Returnal. Gran Turismo. But then, did you see that? It was like 1 second. We go to this cave with this girl with the torch. And they're just quiet about it. We move on. Ghost of Tsushima. Okay, Destiny. Okay, we got the cat game. The cat game. Stray. 1 sec. It's not even 1 second. That's crazy. That's so fast. But yeah, we have another tease for a girl blowing dust of a random chest that she's finding in the freaking cave. And then we see all the games. So yeah, that was like a super weird tease. I think at one point there is like a small window for it again as well. But I'm not sure if I can find it. But either way, what were they doing? What was this? 2 years later, we still don't know. But yeah, this might have been like a tease for an Uncharted game. Obviously, with Nathan's daughter, like this could not be Tomb Raider because we have not seen a new Tomb Raider game. And like they are mostly using first-party games apart from Destiny, but of course now Destiny is a first-party game. So what is interesting, because I also have this, and you could argue, I mean, not as like old as the other games, but you could argue if we go here. People are like, they need to make another Days Gone. This is like one of the top voted comments under that Sunday video. I would love a sequel to Days Gone 2. Or to Days Gone. Well, the crazy part is, this was at one point planned. If we go over here to Adam on LinkedIn, we see that currently he's a senior gameplay animator at Bend again. Okay. Oh no, at Archetype Entertainment. Not sure what that studio is. He was also working at Crystal Dynamics, probably on Perfect Dark. They are, of course, kind of leading that with the initiative from Xbox. But before that, for 2 years and 4 months, he was working with Naughty Dog to prototype and create content on an unannounced project, and also like create animation tools in Python. Basically, he worked on an unannounced title with Naughty Dog and an unannounced band project during that time. And we kind of know that this was what they wanted to do. So after Days Gone, of course, they were like, what are we gonna do now? Well, they pitched 2 projects. One, a Days Gone sequel. They would need 30 new hires. And they would need some worldwide studio support. So this is like the easier path forward for them. Then they also were like, yo, we can also do an Uncharted game, but then we would need 50 more hires. It would go like 8 million probably over Project Horizon. I think Days Gone sequel was then probably Project Horizon. So they would need a bit more like money overall. And we now also learned what that Uncharted game was actually going to be. Days Gone director Jeff Ross wanted to make an Uncharted prequel. During an interview with Sacred Symbols via Video Game Chronicle, Ross explained what his Uncharted prequel would be all about. Victor Sullivan, at the age of 25, in a very stylized world where it would be around 1976, I think is where we figured out his age would be, he explained. He busted out of the navies for a reason, and I thought seeing him young and trying to figure out his way in this world, going from trying to be a soldier or, you know, a military man, to now I'm just out on the streets and I'm going to become a hustle. So yeah, there was basically a plan to have a young Sully game. Now, what happened, of course, with Sony Band is that basically Sony did not want a Days Gone sequel, because even though we have like data on the sales, if we go over here, even though if we look at Days Gone, it's like at 7.3 million copies sold, probably more by now. This is like this is from February 2022. But still, it's number 12. That's pretty good. And Ghost, that was like that launched a year later, is like 100,000 more. Obviously, Ghost has now sold more than 10 million. But yeah, Days Gone was and is still close to Bloodborne in terms of units sold. Still, because of the reviews, Sony was like, nah, we're not gonna do it. There might have been some extra behind the scenes things where not everyone liked, from what I could understand, working with the directors on Days Gone. They also left the studio afterwards. And then they were working on this Uncharted project and were at one point being like, yo, we already made Golden Abyss. They, of course, did the FIDA game. We want to make our own IP instead. We want to do something that we're more passionate about. So that is what happened. And we actually have a leak recently regarding what this game is going to be. And I'm kind of scared. So screenshots of Sony's Band new IP leak suggest a third-person military shooter. Sony Band, the developer behind Days Gone, is working on his next project for some time now. Days Gone launched in 2019. Now, obviously, again, they were doing that Uncharted project, so they started on this new IP in 2022 is when I would, like, they probably 2021, 2022. So it's been 3 years full development now. It's likely still going to be 2026, 2027 when we actually see it. So yeah, there was like a leak from a UI designer's portfolio. These images suggest a third-person military shooter with crafting, leveling up, and other multiplayer functions. So what we kind of know, like what they officially said, is that the mysterious new IP isn't Days Gone 2, like so many fans would have hoped. But what they said is that it includes multiplayer and builds upon open-world systems of Days Gone. And yeah, I cannot show the images, of course, because they were leaked. Sony claimed them already. We do have this tweet where we kind of see a small, like, blurred image of what it looked like. I did see the images before they were taken down, and it looked very, very early, but it did, like, kind of tease that, is it a survival game, or... I don't know. I'm just scared, because what made Days Gone great? For me, it was the story. And for me, it was also the hordes, and just being lost in that world, and kind of just being on this adventure with Deacon. And I hope that they don't throw that away for a more gameplay focused, sandbox type experience. But yeah, we will have to wait and see. To round it out though, we don't know if Uncharted is still happening. Again, they did the tease. Sony Band is at least not working on it. They were just not passionate about it. And then, yeah, they should not do it. But there must be someone at Sony working on that. As for other classic franchises, I think this comment is a great one to round it out. And another one. We got another comment as well that I need to show. Bringing back old IPs in today's gaming environment will ruin the IPs and just make fans mad. It's best to let them rest until we get people who actually are qualified to make the remakes and the sequels, because right now studios care more about checkboxes than the actual games. And that's of course also why we're not seeing all these games being brought back, why there's no new Infamous. Like, if Sony could have it their way, they would probably have all their like franchises flourish and new games in the project. But if you don't have a creative director or like a team with a vision and a cool way to make that franchise like modern, then there's no good reason to bring it back, right? So then it makes sense. You can better like let it rest, have people hope that one day it will happen, or keep the fond memories, so that when you do a crossover, like they're doing the Killzone crossover in Helldivers 2, that you are like, oh yeah, I love playing Killzone, I might get this, instead of, oh, that last Killzone game that random studio did was really bad, I'm not gonna bother with Killzone anymore, that sucks. Kind of what in a way happened with Mass Effect, like, and obviously that was still BioWare making Andromeda, but that did hurt the overall franchise, and you don't want stuff like that to happen. So it makes sense that they need to find the right team. And with a movie, it's like way easier because you only like need 1 year and like a certain budget. It's like easier to get that off the ground. With a game, it of course takes more resources and time. So, and of course, we should round out this topic with this. Open to reviving anything and everything other than Bloodborne. I'm so done with Sony for that. Yep. I mean, Days Gone sold more. I think Days Gone sold in the end more than Bloodborne. We're not getting Days Gone 2. But I know, of course, it's different. That is different. Bloodborne is not on PC. If Bloodborne would be on PC, it would easily sell a few million. Bloodborne is still that weird story that I want someone to tell that. Like, what is going on? Why? Because Sony is even making a freaking Gravity Rush movie. Why are they looking at all their franchises and for some reason they cannot do anything with Bloodborne? They would have like... There's like Bloodborne merch. It's wild. That's still the puzzle that I don't think, nobody had solved. But there were, at one point I read a rumor and I believe it. I just want to believe it, and that makes the most sense, that they're keeping Bloodborne as like a PS6 remake, just like Demon's Souls, and have it as a PS6 launch title, because that would move units. That would be huge. So maybe that's why they're holding it close to their chest, but we will see. Oh, that's really weird. I should probably not. Oh my god. Hyperboom, good to see you as always. Merry Christmas, your team. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you as well. Have a great end of the year. They must have lost the code. Andrew, I don't know. It's weird, right? It's weird. Yeah, I heard it says between January and March. Oh, that's the Lies of P. It's interesting. Lies of P has been the most requested DLC in my chat for a long time, and I haven't even covered the game. We need more vampire stuff. That's a good point, actually. They are doing the 7 Past. They are doing the Bloodlines game, but that has been like, we don't know what's going on with that. If you had complete control of the future of Assassin's Creed, would you make the next game like the Golden That's actually a fun question. So Redfro84 says, if you had complete control of the future of Assassin's Creed, would you make the next game like the Golden Trilogy or the modern RPG like Odyssey Origins? Basically stealth and story or action and spectacle. I think what they're doing now is really smart. We have not really seen it come to fruition, but basically giving all the teams enough time to make a game in the different segments of Assassin's Creed, I think is a smart plan forward. So Shadows will be the RPG. Don't like the RPGs? Yeah, maybe you will like it, but wait, we have the Mirage team work on, like, they actually get the money and the budget to make a more traditional Unity style Assassin's Creed game and really go all out with only a city, go crazy with the parkour. Hidden Blade is always a one-hit kill. Like, all the social stealth is back. Like, all the things that you want in the game. So then you have the RPGs, you have that, and then, okay, what else can we do with this franchise? And that's what Hexe is supposed to be. That should be a new take on Assassin's Creed. Multiplayer, what are we gonna do with that? Like, they have a co-op mode seemingly for Shadows, but what about okay, let's free roam this city together, like what Unity was kind of doing as well. I do think there's way more that they could, maybe not like GTA Online it, but I do think there's a lot of like room for improvement there. So again, I think what they're trying now is pretty smart, but we kind of have to wait and see if it actually works out for them. But and remaking the old games, I think is pretty smart too. So overall, I would say what they've been doing now is, I think, pretty smart. I do think that they should make a new RPG faster than what seems to be the plan now. So now we have Shadows come out February 2025. I think you need a next RPG 2029, like 4 years after that. That seems like a great time. Already from Valhalla to Shadows, that was 4 years, right? Already seemed like a long time, but hey, that is me. I do think that you need to bring those RPGs faster than what they are maybe going to do now. Origins to Odyssey was 1 year, did not hurt them one bit. Odyssey to Valhalla was 2 years, did not hurt them one bit either. Like, these games all sold insanely well. So I do think you can get more RPGs out instead of maybe what they're trying to do now. Then she's asking, do you know something about Ubisoft and their problem with the Windows? I'm not sure. I did see that they, like, look it up on Google. I did see that there were some issues with that, and that Uplay did not work or something. Ubisoft Connect, I should say. I don't know. I'm excited for Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't know why people hate it, but I don't. It's just a character. I don't mind playing any character in color, didn't matter. I'm just a game. I'm excited. Well, obviously, Forest of Monsters, there should be more people like you that actually just are excited for the game. And I mean, totally good to be critical, but be critical about the right things and not about creative decisions that you don't like for not good reasons. We don't even know the story. We don't even know what the character will be. Crazy. Unity level parkour with the Odyssey craziness. Damn. But I don't know if that would work though. Blazing Flame, you missed my question. 2 questions. You got 2 questions, man. When do you think Venom will be announced and released? And when are you releasing the video talking about 2025 predictions on what games will get revealed? So the Venom game, basically, the Venom game will be in that video. It's interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. The Venom game. I don't know if it's gonna happen. It's probably gonna happen. But it really seems that Insomniac changed some of their plans. And of course, with the creative director leaving Wolverine, that's bad. So I think that all the leaks we saw last year, everything changed already. But yeah, they must be looking at... They had DLC planned. They had it probably finished. Like, it was close to being done. They're gonna launch that at one point. But I do think it might, like, be a package. But yeah, I want to be a fly on the wall there. I think it's fascinating to see what they will do. But I do think having a Venom game or something Spider-Man related next year makes sense. Because they need... Otherwise, you have Spider-Man 2, 2023. And then Spider-Man 3, 2028. No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're going to launch something else. But it does seem that Insomniac went crazy during the first part of the generation. And then after that, now they're kind of like, okay, let's go back and actually... work on some new things and then launch them when they are ready. Of course, the games they launched were great. But I do think that Spider-Man 2 should have been their Last of Us or their moment to push them to Santa Monica or Naughty Dog levels, and it did not. So I would rather have them go back and be like, okay, what can we do to reach those levels? What do people actually want? And make that. But it's hard. Those games are for a lot of different types of players. And it's hard to make a game like that, I would imagine. But yeah, that video will be launching this week, Blazing Flame. Look forward to that. Want to have an Assassin's Creed Shadows video tonight? Or tomorrow? And then work on that 2025 video. Blazing Flame is greedy now that Christmas is over, yeah. 2 questions. Spider-Man 2 was pretty buggy. I wish it was better. I don't think the bugs were the issues for me. It was more the second part of the game. Just, for me, didn't work. It threw away everything I loved about the Spider-Man Insomniac universe. It just didn't hit for me. But maybe that's Venom in general. I love the sort of character, like, as an idea, but it just gets a little too save the worldy, and I like when Spider-Man is just small. That's why I loved Homecoming so much. It was a small story. With the overarching, I want to be an Avenger. And I just love that. And the moment they go, we gotta save the world, I'm like, it's Spider-Man. It's like your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Why does it have to be... Why does the whole city have to suddenly be taken over? And then there are no Avengers or no one is helping Spider... Like, it doesn't make sense for me. So I like it when it's smaller. And that's what Spider-Man 1 did. Obviously. More personal. GC says, what is your opinion on Hell Is Us game? Looks great. For people who don't know what it is, it's like a new game from... Not sure who the developers are in particular, but basically what they are trying to do is they want to make a game where you're not being like kind of told what you have to do. And this can really go both ways. I think the atmosphere looks great, the graphics look great, but I don't know. It's we have to wait and see. It looks awesome though. And I love like that you have this drone, you can use it to jump, and then boom. So yeah, it looks great. Not a huge fan of the enemy designs. If they're like like a ghosty, I'm not a huge fan of that. But I do think overall it looks kind of awesome. But yeah, it can be like hit or miss in terms of not having a quest log. And yeah, I mean, for me, if I make guides, that's a great thing, because then people will actually be very, very interested in that. But yeah, it can be hit or miss. I think it's really hard to find the right balance between, yeah, not being too hand-holdy, and this game seems to go the complete opposite. And I'm kind of scared that yeah, might not work out for them, because they are, of course, playtesting it, and I think it's very hard to playtest that, because the people that will be playtesting, they have more knowledge of games than your average Joe who goes and maybe buys this game. So we will have to wait and see. Maybe they should do like a demo or a beta to get some feedback on that. But maybe they do nail it. But I do think it's a very interesting concept, and I will be keeping an eye on it for sure. Spider-Man being small, read the comics. Yeah, I should maybe. I've done some, but like not enough. Yeah, give us more MJ missions. What? I did not say that. Is the AC Shadows multiplayer real? I mean, probably, yeah. The co-op. But I think it's gonna be like a year before they release it. So, I do have to go. It's a bit shorter stream, as I already said. I'm gonna quickly... But, yeah. Hope you have a great... wait, I'm gonna quickly open the door, or look at the door. Someone came at the door. Oh, okay. So yeah, there's someone at the door. Actually, my friend. We're leaving now. So yeah, that means that the stream is over for the final stream of the year. For the year. It's over for the year. No, I will be back, of course, very soon. Next week, we will have another Monday stream. Will be a bit longer. We will go over more topics, but yeah, I'd love to answer your questions, kind of nerd out about the gaming news and gaming in general. I'm fine with today. Have a good day, man. No worries. Like, overall, I just hope that you have a great, like, final day of the week, of the year. Tomorrow, of course, the 31st. Have an amazing New Year's Eve. And I'm, like, as I've always said, in general, and that's why I like this channel as well, that we can kind of, like, look at the overall gaming industry and news, and I will keep doing it, of course, here, have more of these webcam type videos. That's what I call them, of course, the react videos where we go over the news. But of course, like, the thing that kind of elevated the YouTube channel and that still has me the most excited in terms of content is a brand new big game that comes out that a lot of you will be playing. We make tips and tricks, of course, news, and then we follow it after launch. Like, the post-launch is for me the most exciting type of content, because then we are all super in depth into the game. We find things in the game, we figure things out together. We're kind of speculating what is happening next, and that will happen again, of course, in the new year with Shadows, maybe other games, but in particular Shadows. And there are already some cool things coming up for that game. Obviously, yeah, January will likely be very big because they need to do more marketing before the February 14th release. But it's going to be very exciting. Of course, the 1 million on the main channel is going to be a huge milestone. So a lot of cool things to look forward to. Hope you also have an amazing start of the new year. Again, I will be back every Monday. That's the plan. Every Monday right here, same time. Usually longer than this, but now I gotta go. And yeah, we will talk like this and discuss the gaming news. And yeah, we will have, again, a Shadows video on the main channel. Hopefully tonight, otherwise tomorrow. And of course, a 2025 preview with the big games that I think will be revealed. There will be a lot of videos on this channel as well. I want to look at XDeviant and other stuff. So it's going to be exciting. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all the super chats as well. They've been very generous. So thanks Concert Citizen, of course. And Ronald, Cowboy, Coyote. Santa Warrior is just joining, but sorry, I'm leaving. It's over. Final stream of the year. Hope you had a good time. Wesley, of course, you know who you are. Thanks for being here. The mod for the whole year. Appreciate you a lot. I will join next time then. Cool. Next week, same time. See you then. And yeah, have a great rest of the year and an amazing start of 2025. It's gonna be insane. It might be the biggest year for the channel, for gaming. I'm excited. So see you soon.